Hi, welcome to Guide to Fluency, where we review language programs and apps to help you on your language learning journey. Today, we're going to compare Busuu and Rosetta Stone. These apps have some similar features that'll be great for visual learners with a limited free version for Busuu and affordable monthly subscription for both programs' full versions. By the end of this video, you'll know which app is right for you based on how you learn best. We also have a detailed written review over on our website in case you need more information. Just Google Guide to Fluency, Busuu versus Rosetta Stone. So I want to start by going over Rosetta's program and what your usual lesson will consist of. Then I'll give you a rundown of Busuu's format before sharing the 3 things we think work best about both apps. Rosetta Stone's program is made up of 20 language learning units, each with 4 lessons that take about half an hour to complete. These lessons are mostly simple picture-based exercises where you listen to or read a word and match that to an image. After the core lesson, you apply what you learned through writing, vocab, listening, and speaking drills with a milestone exercise that takes you through a mock conversation toward the end. There isn't much English instruction in these lessons, which is part of their dynamic immersion method. There are lots of supplemental tools though, like audio companions, phrase books, short and engaging video lessons, and stories that really round out the program and fill in the gaps between Rosetta and other language learning apps. This all comes in between $13 and $15 a month. Busuu, on the other hand, may look more familiar to you if you've used Duolingo in the past. You work down a learning path, completing quick lessons that use a variety of exercises that also include images as well as video clips of native speakers. After you complete lessons, you can review the words you've studied from a review tab. Busuu also has a great community where learners can give each other feedback on pronunciation or compete in leagues to help keep you motivated. Busuu comes in similarly at $7 to $14 a month. To get the lowest rates with Busuu, you'll usually need some kind of discount code, and the same goes for Rosetta Stone. We regularly see their lifetime package for as much as half off. We'll have any discounts for both apps we can find down below in the description. We'll keep that updated with all their latest promotions, so be sure to check that out before you purchase. Now let's talk about the big pros for each program. Then we'll let you know which of these apps we ultimately prefer. Let's start with Rosetta Stone. You might have guessed based on what I said earlier about their lesson format that I think Rosetta Stone is an ideal program for visual learners. Even with Busuu's use of images and clips, many of their drills are also text-based with English instruction. Rosetta's lessons, by comparison, utilize pictures as the foundation of pretty much every practice drill within the course. I should also mention that Rosetta Stone offers supplemental on-demand videos in those extra resources as well. If you're hoping for a more intuitive visual learning experience, we think Rosetta is the stronger of the two here. Next has to be that focus on immersive learning. This can be challenging at first with no English instruction to hold your hand, but in the long run, it may significantly accelerate the language acquisition process for you. Children before the age of 5 often naturally have a grasp of their native language just from picking it up in their environment. And we think Rosetta's constant exposure to words and phrases in your target language leads to rapid and effective acquisition compared to studying in a non-immersive environment. Fluency ultimately involves thinking and expressing oneself directly in the target language, rather than trying to mentally translate between languages. So I have to say I'm a big fan of Rosetta Stone's immersive learning framework. I also want to highlight Rosetta Stone's true accent speech technology. Throughout the Rosetta Stone lessons, you'll engage in various drills where you listen and then repeat words and phrases, allowing the speech tool to assess and grade your pronunciation. This is important because not only does accurate pronunciation help facilitate your understanding of native speakers, but enhances your confidence in using the language in social and professional settings. Almost every language learning company uses some sort of speech recognition tool, but Rosetta Stone's is easily among the best I've tested. Now let's go over the big pros for Busuu. Starting with the big one, Busuu has a free version. However, it's more limited than their standard courses, which, with discounts, start around $7 per month. We think the free version could be good for brushing up on a language before a trip, but if you're serious about learning another language, it'll be worth it to pay for the full version. You may be able to get another 10% off on top of their usual discounts, so again, check out the description for any discounts for both Rosetta Stone and Busuu. Moving on to the next highlight for Busuu, which has to do with their quick, engaging lessons. You can knock out a Busuu lesson during your lunch break, and there's a nice mix of problem types that don't feel as repetitive either. The exercises sometimes feature images and video clips of native speakers, as well as more direct grammar instruction throughout the lessons. Finally, I want to talk about Busuu's community review feature. Here you can submit yourself speaking a word or phrase, and get a response from a native speaker in a day or so. You can return the favor by giving feedback to those learning your language as well. It may not be as fast as a voice tool, but we thought this was a great and productive way for language learners to connect and get some valuable speaking practice. Now that we've covered the pros of each app, which should you go with? We think which to go with depends on two things: the type of learner you are and the fluency level you hope to achieve. We think Busuu, with its shorter drill-based exercises with some video clips of native speakers, is great for beginners hoping to land somewhere around an A1 to A2 level of the language they're learning. They also include more English instruction if you're hesitant about trying the immersive approach like with Rosetta Stone. However, we ultimately prefer Rosetta Stone for their immersive approach that seems to smartly mimic the natural language acquisition process with their lessons. And we think that it could help more advanced learners reach higher levels of fluency like B2 or C1 for languages in their Catalyst Fluency Builder program. So whether you're trying to learn some of a language for a trip or reach a higher level of fluency, we think Rosetta Stone will be the better option for most learners. So based on all that, which app do you think will work best for you? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like for a chance to win one of these courses in our monthly giveaway.